Hey Ryan, I'm recording my thoughts as I went through this creative project. While I was working on the virtual production sets, I was thinking a lot about this creative project and how I wanted to make it work and make it work with the virtual production stuff. I was originally thinking that I could design a tape measure that could fit to the cameras, the Canon cameras, and I was thinking that, or sorry, design a holder for a tape measure that could attach to a Canon camera. And I was thinking that because our virtual production tech can it can track very accurately how high the camera is off the ground in centimeters, and I can find out that information very easily in Unreal. So if I had a static place for a measuring tape to be, it would be quite easy for me to make the measurements in Unreal and then also make the measurements in real life. But unfortunately, I didn't really have the time to do that. It was quite complex. So I was thinking, how could I make something that would still fit with virtual production? And I ended up going with battery holders because when I'm doing a virtual production set, I usually tell Jock I need at least 2 or 3 extra batteries, sometimes more. And usually I like to have the extra batteries in the charging case, but we're not always working with multiple cameras. And if I need extra batteries, I can only have one in the charging case. So I thought that a battery holder would help me a lot. And I thought it would keep me organized. I didn't have too much time to do spend a lot of time iterating on the assignment because of how many shoots I've been doing with the acting for the camera class. And I mentioned this specifically because when I searched up specifically for an LPE6 battery holder, which is the ones that Canons use, and I used a project that had a lot of likes, but as it turned out, the design was completely incorrect. It said LPE6, but it was not for LPE6. I'm not sure what batteries it was for, but I noticed pretty quickly on my first run through that it was not going to hold the batteries, so I stopped the 3D print and started again. This time I enlarged it, cut a few because of my time constraints, and I created it big enough that I thought at least the battery would fit into, even if the dimensions were right. But as it turned out, I was just barely too small again for the batteries. So I didn't have the time to redo it again. So I let it print through and I found another use for it. I found that it fits quite well either my SSD or I have a USB-C hub dock that works really well with it. Because when I work with Dorothy, sometimes the things I plug into her end up on the floor, and I would rather they not be. So it's a good SSD holder and dock holder for working with Dorothy.